let me start with job descriptions. And that's, the foundation for any compensation professional of, doing a job pricing, job matching exercise is to make sure that you accurately and consistently describe the work that's being done in a way that when you compare it to the market or when you compare employees for internal equity, that it's accurate, right? If you start, trying to benchmark jobs with poorly written, incomplete, or misleading job descriptions, you will end up with, a house built on a foundation of sand. Now, of course, you can go into ChatGPT or any other large language model and say, please write me a description for a senior marketing manager, right? You can absolutely do that. You will get something. It may or may not be faster than finding examples. I mean, historically, the way people have generated job descriptions is use a job description catalog, like somebody from JD Expert or something like that, and then start with an example and derive it. Those are all very, very useful tools. So I wouldn't recommend that for a lot of reasons. Job descriptions serve a lot of purposes. Compensation is just one. Job descriptions should be the source to generate job postings. Usually job postings are for individual roles, whereas jobs are roles that can be compared internally and externally. And they should also support a coherent and logical career progression for somebody to know that there's a distinction between a marketing manager and a senior marketing manager, and those things should be quite tangible. So you want to be able to benchmark correctly, you want to be able to guide recruiting correctly, and you want to be able to guide career paths correctly. So using, as I mentioned, the RAG, or the retrieval augmented generation, and comprehending a lot of other factors when you generate a job description using a large language model is a really effective task. So let's take an example here and say we wanted to we have a job for a marketing manager, and we want to go and modify that and create a new job for a senior marketing manager. So one of the things you can do is go in and change the title. You want to change the level. So we have an M1 marketing manager here. Let me go here. Let me see here. I'll make this an M2 senior manager. And I modify this to be a more senior role. Okay, so we're basically telling the system what we want to do. We actually have, and I'll show elsewhere, we have our career level distinction between an M1 manager and an M2 senior manager elsewhere in the tool. It's using that information. It's using the title information. It will be using other job descriptions for this organization that define the capabilities of a marketing manager and a senior marketing manager. So now we've rewritten the job description, and we can actually go through here and see what's changed. So one is we've aligned this job description to the corporate template for a job description. But then you can see, how the system has said, yeah, for this to be a more senior role, you have to have leadership and team development, develop high-performing teams, drive strategic campaign planning. You can basically look at what it's changed. Now, again, I wouldn't just save this and be done with it. You can actually go through and make sure that whatever the other capabilities are for this new job you're creating are put in here. There's a few other things we can do using AI. One is you can set some guidelines. So you could say something like require all jobs to have at least 5 skills. So as people want to move from a credentialing-based system to a more of a skills-based model, you could actually apply that guide and then make sure. I think we actually do have 5 here. So maybe we should say, let's make it 6 skills. All right, so we'll make this 6 skills, and then we'll generate again. And then it'll go through and make sure that it identifies what it thinks might be an additional skill. So this is a great way to drive for the ability to, yeah, so now we went at least 6 skills. So as you go through and you want to drive a level of quality and consistency in your approach, and you also want to migrate job descriptions to be more skill-centric than credential-centric, you can use a tool like this to drive that consistency. And you can also have elements of quantitative audit. So you can build audit questions that when somebody else submits a job description, you can do a quick sanity check. So this is just I won't save this, but this is just a brief, quick example of how you can harness the power of a large language model, but augment it with the key information that drives quality and consistency in job descriptions